You're listening to an episode recorded during the time Innovation Fuel was part of University Canada West. We are proud and grateful for the work we've done together, and we want to thank the university for being in our podcast. We are now excited to continue the journey of Innovation Fuel into its next chapter. Thanks for listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Innovation Fuel, the podcast that brings you fantastic stories from entrepreneurs and key industry professionals. I am Dave Gelareh.
And I am Gelareh Farhadian. We are educators, entrepreneurs, and your hosts. Innovation Fuel is our weekly business podcast brought to you by University Canada West. Each week, we explore diverse business models, entrepreneur journeys, experts' insight, and managerial challenges, and how companies stay agile and innovative during COVID-19. Check out our episodes at www.ucanwest.ca/innovationfuel.
Gelareh, you know what just happened to me recently?
What happened?
I bought some property, a new home for our family, and it was a really amazing experience. We had an amazing realtor that went above and beyond for us. Went out to the market. As most of the time in Vancouver, the market is really hot, and there's a lot of things and overbidding and going into price wars and all this kind of stuff. And so he went outside the box. He took the idea outside the box. He knew what my wife and I wanted. He went and he started looking up some old listings, found an old listing in a perfect area, and went door knocking. And he found the perfect home for us. And we didn't have to get into that whole back and forth debate and have to get to market and compete for it. So it was a really positive experience, and I really have a lot of respect for realtors.
Why you didn't buy it for yourself? I mean, you can find all the information. You can log into MLS. You can see the pricing. You can see everything. It's very transparent. Why?
Yeah, I think the information's out there. But there's some things you just don't know. Like, what am I stepping into? Is this a neighborhood that I want to live in? What's the future economic value of this neighborhood? Is it a good place for us? Like, is the home a good home for us? Like, these are things that, they might look great to us, and everything might, this looks beautiful. I can see our family growing up here. But there are other things that we need to consider that sometimes we don't think of. We might follow the passion and the joy of it without looking at all the other pieces, because it's a long-term investment. And the investment that we're paying nowadays for these homes is quite a bit of money. And, I want to make sure that, in the future, if I need to use it for my retirement, I want to make sure that I can retain from it. So,
yeah, absolutely. So you found out your realtor could help you to find exactly what not only you want, but also you need it, right? That's their value.
Yeah, I think that they can really just help us pinpoint this element and figure out, but then they can also look at the other side of it that we might not look at as home buyers. They might look at the long time economic value of that and whether, that's going to be a sustainable opportunity for you. Maybe there are some things that are going to happen in that market that you're not aware of and thereof, and that could affect your property value.
Oh, that's great. I didn't think about that one. But Dave, I think that the realtor life is so stressed out. I never can be a realtor, to be honest with you. It's stress level, they have it. Just look at the last year, there was no interactions in the real estate in BC. But then suddenly after that, it was a huge booming interactions on this one. And so what the fear that or stress they had it on that time? Can you imagine?
Gelareh, one of the things that I look at when I look at realtors, and there's a lot of risk going into becoming a realtor. You don't have anything until you sell something, so I know that the reward is quite big because you can make some really substantial commissions, but there's a lot of give and take at that for beginning that you have to forge in order to make that happen. You have to give a lot in order to gain that. And you don't even know if you're going to get it back. You might invest and put all this marketing dollars into marketing this home, and this home doesn't sell. Well, guess what? You paid all the marketing dollars. You paid that. You don't get that back, and you have to sell the home. That's a lose-lose, and how many lose-loses can you sustain before, you go out of business? And I think that's it. Like, it's like, I respect that the reward is bigger because yeah, that takes time and effort. In a hot market, it's different.
Absolutely. So, okay, yeah, I got your point. But then we bring another expert, realtor Shirin
Yep.
Saleh. So we want to see that what she's saying. Welcome, Shirin Saleh. Welcome to another episode of Innovation Fuel with Shirin Saleh, MA and MBA Managing Broker at 88 West Realty. Welcome, Shirin.
Yes, welcome, Shirin. Welcome to Innovation Fuel. We're so excited to have you. We're really intrigued about the real estate world, and especially now what's happening again. It's happening again. Oh no. And before we jump into everything, we really got to connect you to our audience. We'd like to know a little bit about you and a little bit about your background and what brought you here today.
Hello, Gelareh. Hello, David. Before I start talking about myself and my background, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to open your platform, educational platform, which is the most credible to me, being an educator, to let us or let me talk about who I am, what I do, and how I can inspire other people, and then talk about the market. This is just incredible. And then you said that you're excited. I should say that I'm even more excited because, as I said, my background is education. I used to teach at university. Now, again, being part of university, talk to university people, educational people, it's just amazing. And it gives me such a wonderful feeling. Now, talking about myself, a little bit about myself, moved to Canada with my family in 2003. While I was doing my PhD at Edinburgh, Scotland, doing applied linguistics, and I was an associate professor at Tehran University. When I moved to Canada, I had to choose which way I want to go, and it was always my dream to study MBA, always. And then I thought, okay, this is the opportunity. I'm gonna find a school. But then I had to be honest, GMAT was so hard for me. I knew that I'm not gonna pass GMAT. So I found a university where I could just skip GMAT, and that was Royal Roads University. And then so I attended the info session, and then at the meeting during the break, and then a gentleman approached me, and he was Persian. He told me that, hey, are you aware of this Sharif and joint program, Sharif and Royal Roads University? I said, no, tell me about it. And that was the beginning of my journey at Royal Roads University, and I highly recommend everyone, even my children, everyone, that if you have the opportunity, go for it, get your degree, MBA, whatever it is, because it's such an insightful and rewarding degree. I've got lots of degrees, like many other Iranians, but MBA is totally different. So as soon as I finished, I did not finish it. I was towards the end of my course degree. Then I decided to sell my home. And then I thought, okay, getting a license for real estate is super easy for me. Why not get one more license? And then I was thinking also going for my PhD. And then I remember one of my instructors, Stephanie, she used to teach environmental studies. And then she said, Shirin, you got to stop getting degrees and after degrees. Stop it. You go to work and then do some work. And then if you really feel that you want to go to education and then research field, get your PhD. And then it was one of the best advices that I ever had. I got into the market, got my real estate license. For a couple of years, I worked with a company, but it was from day one. It was my dream to have my own company where I can implement my own values and then corporate culture, which is very important. And then the main corporate culture, which was missing, and it's missing in many huge companies, is the feeling. People are just numbers. People are not considered as human. That was something that I really wanted to have. And then I'm so proud of having my company where I have more than 40, actually we are 45. Then we are so close to each other. We work like a family. And I'm proud of that achievement. So I opened 88 West Realty in 2015. We have 2 branches, and we are about to open the 3rd branch, hopefully in Gibson. I'm a mother of 2, grandmother of would-be 3, still with my husband. I was in Westman. I haven't moved out. Westman is I think I'm going to stay there. Right.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful journey. So how's the life with being a realtor now? I know that you've been here in this job for a long time, but how's it?
It is perfect for somebody who is workaholic like me. if people say that, well, I love working as a realtor because it gives me the autonomy of time, autonomy of choosing my schedule, but there's absolutely no autonomy. You have to work. Slave of the market, slave of the business. So whoever wants to dedicate his time to clients and then to work, it's a great business. It's a great, great to be working as a realtor. For me, it works perfectly. My kids are grown up. My husband is super, super cooperative and supportive. It works for me. Last night I left office at 1:30 in the morning, and it's quite common for me, sometimes 4 in the morning. But then having said that, I have different responsibilities. Sometimes I have to wear a hat of a managing broker, and then as a feminist, as different roles.
So, Shirin, what are the challenges to be a realtor in Canada or BC?
Well, talking about myself, as I mentioned, that my background is in education. In education, as you can allude to, I mean, you're professors or associate professors, and you know that your social status is really high. But when you come and work as a salesperson, especially if you're a realtor, your social status all of a sudden goes down below. So my biggest challenge is every time I encounter with any person who doesn't know me, I have to prove to the person that, hey, I'm trustworthy. I'm somebody who you can rely on. I'm not here just to sell you. That is my biggest challenge, because with my background, when you go to university, you never tell your students, hey, trust me. I'm not here to sell you something. So I think all the realtors do have this challenge. And then according to stats, the public trust in realtors is the lowest, among the lowest. I believe the lowest is the lawyers. So earning public trust is a big challenge.
Of course, but we need realtors. We cannot buy and sell with ourselves. We cannot find any property with ourselves. It's not easy. And we cannot pricing a house. I mean, if you show me a house, I can say, it's beautiful, good view. How much is it? I don't know. How can I say it? It's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, how can I price that one? I mean, for me, it's challenge as a person, it's a normal person. But that's why we need you, and still we don't trust you, right?
I truly appreciate what you're saying, Gelareh. But you know what? I'm glad that you brought up this very important thing, which is, again, and the next challenge that I have to talk about, and then the challenge of technology and the challenge of information being so abundant everywhere. So people or buyers or sellers, they know exactly what they want. They know exactly what the value of the property is. There are so many tools available on the market. They can search. And it's interesting. Anytime I pick up a new client, especially if it is younger like you guys, they know what they want. And then because they start searching a couple of months prior. Now, what is the value that the realtor can bring to the table? Now, because technology, people know what they want. They can even negotiate. So what I would say is take extra miles and then do extra work for your clients, like what Dave just mentioned, that his realtor went out of the what is that ordinary activity and then started door knocking and then find a property which is not even listed. And then his realtor was aware of market activities, and he said, hey, I know I can anticipate a surge in the market. Let's do it now. These are the valuable expertise and advices that a realtor can bring on the table. Otherwise, finding a property is on system, on MLS. Easy. That's super easy. And negotiation also is very important. So our second challenge is how to pivot our business with the overwhelming technology, with the technology is taking our business share of our business. We have to find the real value. And then so the clients and customers will see the value, will trust us, will want to work with us.
Yes, you said that the technology or data, that's the information is out there, but still, for me as a seller or buyer, those information out there is so overwhelming. I can see that. I know my budget. I know what I want. Right? I can, for example, when I was watching and looking for open houses, I said, "Oh, I like this home. It's beautiful." But then a realtor told me that, no, don't take it. It's not a good investment. I said, what do you mean by it's not a good investment? It's beautiful. It's a good location. No, because it's in the very public area. It will changing. There's some information that it's not out there that can help me to make a decision. And I think that the trustworthy realtor is the person that actually see me and find my needs and help guide me and help me to find the best option, right? So how you can find the needs of people means, especially couples. I can see that the couples, maybe they have different needs. My husband is always looking for investment. I'm always looking for have a better life, So what is it? How we can find the different needs?
Yeah, being a salesperson, the main role that we have is to know people, to get to know people, and to have an understanding of psychology of people. And then this is actually one of the beauties of our job is we get very close to people. We go to their home, we sit together, we even have lunch or dinner together, and then we really learn about the client, what they want, what is their lifestyle, and then what is it that they make them very happy. For that reason, we have a long list of questionnaire, and then sometimes it comes organically, naturally when we hang out with people, especially if the client is looking for a place to live in, not just a place to invest in. So these are very important. And then thanks to Gelareh bringing up, one of the challenges of realtors is if the realtor fails to find out what the need of the client is. And then sometimes it happens. A buyer comes to my office, a seller comes to my office and says, this realtor does not understand what I want. And then I want somebody who would listen to me. So we got to be very good listeners and observers, and then get a very good grasp of what the client wants, what the needs are, put it into the market, find the right product. It's not an easy job.
But it does. But it takes a unique individual to do this. Like you're really articulating to a unique individual. And I know you said salesperson, but not every salesperson can be a realtor. So what is the unique characteristics of a successful realtor?
Being a good listener and then trying to understand what the needs of the buyers are. Knowledge of the market is extremely, extremely important. We realtors should get used to reading at least minimum 1 or 2 hours every day, and then follow up with the clients. So I would say a combination of all these are very important in order for a realtor to succeed and then to be able to deliver a service which is beyond the expectation of the other people, something that would create other people to become, or his clients become his advocate. That's what we want. If I can make a client my advocate, if I work with Gelareh and Gelareh says, hey, Shirin is the best, you go and buy with Shirin, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
What you just told me about your realtor. Now you're an advocate of your realtor.
But I also shared, looking at my experience, and I know you talked about my experience again, we'll just give the audience a little context of my experience. I recently bought something, but my realtor didn't find the listing online. It was crazy market, found it off market, looked at some old listings and went and found something that was applicable to what we were looking for. It was actually perfect. And we were able to move forward with but it was a great experience. But I think a lot what I understood too in that process is that not only did he have a great relationship with us, but he had a phenomenal relationship with the community. He knew exactly what was going on in the community. He knew exactly what was happening in future economic development in and around, and he could find those pieces because he had his finger on the pulse. He had his finger on everything. He had his finger on the pulse with other realtors. He had his fingers on the pulse with the city and other pieces around that made that experience even more positive.
Brilliant. You're absolutely right. So the knowledge and understanding, of course, experience also plays a great role, but I think knowledge and understanding of the community and then of the market, and then a lot of other indicators are important. That's knowledge plays a huge role. Now, you know what? It's very interesting. Why do we talk about Dave's Realtor? Because he did something extra. Because he did not just go to the MLS, to the system, and find a property saying, hey, if he had done that, we would not talk about it. And this is called talk trigger. So he triggered it. He did something beyond what you expect. If we realtors or if whoever is in service, if we can do something beyond what people are expecting, then we are intriguing people to talk about us. And that's the ultimate goal. That's what we want to do. That's I keep telling. That's the main thing that I talk to people, to my agents, and I say, hey, think about what is it that your client is not expecting, and then you're going to surprise your client, and then your client will see the real value, and then client will talk about you. That is the talk trigger. We constantly think about that. Give clients extra value.
Can we go down the pathway now? Because I think we talked about this at the very beginning a little bit, and I think the biggest threat that's out there, and I think we need to really put it out there and have a discussion around it, is the threat of technology. This new evolution of technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, AR and VR, and all these things that are really diving in and, as you said, are making it easier for people like myself to do it ourselves versus that element. So how are you combating the technology, and how are your realtors dealing with that and advancing themselves?
There's no combat. Because if I think that there's a combat, then I'm going to lose. How am I going to fight with technology, with the emerging technology? I mean, fast emerging technology. I remember a couple of years ago, my uncle who lives in Sweden, he was visiting, and he said, Shirin, you're still looking at, and the buyers and sellers look at the online and they find a property, they call the realtor. We don't do this way. Everything is online, and then people can bid online. I find a property online, and it's all open, full disclosure. People can see a property listed at $500,000, and then somebody like me writes it. Okay, this is my name, and I'm paying $510 and $520. So when he told me about how the way that the real estate is done over there, 100% transparent. Clients and buyers are happy because they know exactly what they want, how much the competition is paying. They're not overpaying. And actually, in parentheses, I should say that Ontario is going to pick that strategy, which is, I think it's amazing. We should do that as well. So he caught me thinking, what is it that we can do here? And then I started pitching the idea with a couple of people, and I started doing research on what is happening, how real estate is handled in different countries because of the emergence of technology. I know there are tons of real estate companies, brokerages, in digital brokerages in US, in Europe, that they do not have a traditional office. They do not have a tar and mortar office. Absolutely nothing. Everything is online. They have closing rooms online. They have meetings, and everything is online. And then with COVID, actually, it accelerated. Now, with COVID, we see that even people, sometimes I go, and then I just, over the Zoom, I should show the properties. And then I haven't sold anything over the Zoom, but I think it's going to happen. Now, what we have to do, how we can pivot our business, we have to adapt this technology. We have to use it as much as possible. We have to use technology and then increase the number of sales by technology. So there's no fighting against technology. Accept it with open arms, and then use it towards scaling our business. Actually, technology is helping us to scale our business, which is very good.
Yeah, means you brought something that when I was looking for a home, that's in the open houses, I couldn't see the people. I mean, the realtor, they're showing the home by the Zoom actually to someone overseas. Or there's another option about the VR. I mean, you can feel you're in the home. You can go to the website, feel you're in the home, and you can see if you want, even go to the open house. It's because going to the open house is time consuming. So I can see that, oh, okay, I want to see this one. Then I can take the time and go there. So I think that it's, even for us as a buyer or sellers, it's going to be easier. And, if you want to sell your home, you shouldn't be at your home in open house. Again, maybe you have some family issues. You don't want anyone to be in your home. We just exact people that they really want to see, buy it, they come. So that's a difference. So I think that it's helping them as well. But what even I can see that is changing to the real estate is a realtor using those tools to help their clients, to say that, okay, if you want, I can. This is the pictures. This is the feeling. That means you can go to this website, and then after that, if they narrow down the needs of that client, and then they say, "Hey, let's go to see it, or let's go to put your home," because now I have exactly 3 people are coming there, potential buyer. They not just want to watch. So we come to your homes. I think it's helpful. It's reduced the time, but it's still here is going to be that the future of realtor and their value, as you said. I mean, I still think that the value is that it's find my needs. Still time consuming for me to look at a lot of information, a lot of houses online.
Maybe I should mention this as well. Maybe some realtors don't like this, but then it's the value versus the commission. Commission, obviously, I list the property for $4 million. Commission is $80,000, and then people say, okay, you sold it within 1 week or 2 weeks, and you're collecting $80,000. And sometimes it's the reverse. I list it, and then it takes 1 year to sell it for $80,000. But when market is accelerated, and we list and sell, and then the money that we get. This is the most controversial area that people don't like, and then people talk about. And I think it's fair. I think we have to come up with a kind of commission or payment structure which everybody would be happy, and that's why people don't like. And then the question constantly, okay, you're a realtor, what did you do? Okay, you showed me 2 properties, and then how much is the commission? And we have to fully disclose $30,000. Actually, one of our agents is one of our top producers. Yesterday, he was here picking up the check, and we were laughing. And I said, "Oh, I didn't know that this is a big fat check." And I said, "Every day you're coming to the office to pick up one check. Yes, he is a hard worker, but then aren't you a hard worker as well? You're a hard worker too. But look at the rewards. Look at the comparison." So I would say commission plays a huge role when people question the values of a realtor.
But on that note, it is a risky business. Like, as you said, it might not sell, and you're on the hook for it. So they're not getting paid until it sells. I look at like, say, for an example, professional athletes. They're putting their body on their risk element out there, and the risk should equal the reward. And I don't know. So I kind of feel for realtors because they don't make money until it sells, and then that's a scary situation. Yeah.
I totally agree with you, Dave. The rule of 20/80. Oh, look at that. The rule of 20/80. And then not every realtor sells. And then 20%, even in the 20% cap, I would say that maybe 2% of them, they sell and make money. The rest do not. It's a very competitive and challenging business industry to be with. Yes, but then the reward is high. What I'm recommending or what I'm suggesting is to come up with a fair and more reasonable payment structure. That's it. When it takes, I don't know, a year, 2 years, and it's happened to me, it took 2 years, 3 years to sell a property, yeah, why not? But then if it happens very quickly, anyways, I never wanted to mention commission.
But just one thing that I want to know, for example, April last year, it was the lowest, interaction and trades in the real estate, no selling, no buying. So what was your feeling on that time? I know that after that booming, but then because your life and your business surviving, it depends on the sales, right? So what did you do? What was your feeling that time about that time?
Well, for Dave, he hasn't experienced living in a country when war is happening. Probably Gelareh was only a child. So I was born and raised in a country with crisis. So we are very good in crisis management.
Exactly. I was thinking about that yesterday. That how can I explain about the war to my friends, Canadian friends? Yeah, I raised on Canada and the war with a lot of, something happened, but I enjoyed it because I was a kid.
Yeah, can you imagine living in a city that you don't know whether you're going to be alive the next minute or so, and then you would see the aircrafts and then bomb shell. Anyways, so with that background, and then also my personality, I'm quite resilient about what is happening. I was fine. However, because I'm a business owner on the business side, then the panic, overall panic in the or surpassed everyone. I was worried what is going to happen to the company. Real estate, I knew that it's going to go back. So at times I remember that nobody wanted even to work at the company. I said, okay, I'm going to stay here. And twice, and I said, okay, now that I'm on my own, I have to work harder. Twice I had to call police because it was around 3 a.m. and then we had people who wanted to break in. And then so I had to call police. But then this was during the just beginning of COVID. I had no idea that market is going. Nobody could anticipate such a strong market. However, I knew that based on economy, that if the interest is very low, if the interest rates drops and it goes below the inflation rate, the value of the asset goes up. So I knew that this is the rule of thumb. The value of assets should go up. The market is going to start rolling back. I knew that it's going to happen. How fast? It was really fast. So every time I had videos, so I started putting up videos. I would say I was positive about the market. I would say that, okay, many people say, no, market is going to crash. This is the end of the world. And no, this is not the end of the world.
So so you were positive about the change. You just need to be patient, and this time should pass, right? And just say, okay, let's wait. This time will pass, right?
Yes. I fastened the belt and then worked harder.
Yeah, but I think like any other business, everything has its ebbs and flows. And I think that you just have to prepare your business for, the rainy day, how do we weather the storm during these times as we go through these, ebbs and flows?
A very good point. Thank you. And then also I should not forget thanking our government. The support of government came right in time, and I'm so grateful to live in Canada, and I'm so grateful to live or to be under the leadership of Justin Trudeau. I'm a great fan of him. So yes, 40K at first, 40K, and then another 20K. It helped my business stay afloat. It was very important.
Okay, we are at the end of our episode. Shirin, do you have any challenge for our students?
I would say study as much as possible. It's extremely important to be knowledgeable, and then think about the values you're going to bring to the table. Think about how you're going to help the company or the business, the industry, whoever, the community, whatever you want to join. These are important things. I know that many people, they complain that, there is not enough job, or I can't find a job. I've sent 100 resumes. I couldn't find a job. But I know many people who can find a job within 1 or 2 resumes. One example is when we advertise for, an admin or a PR or somebody to hire someone. And I usually have I interview about 50 or 100 people. Out of those 100 people, I would say I can pick only 2 or 3. And all of them are educated. All of them have university degrees. But what is the difference? What differentiates that two people from the crowd is their knowledge and then their passion. Passion also is important. Keep the passion as high as possible. Show the excitement. Be enthusiastic. And then be enthusiastic about the life, about the future, about the work. Show it. let people get it, and then again, study as hard as possible.
Oh, wonderful. Great words, Viv. Great words. Great challenge.
Great challenge, exactly. Study as much as possible. I'll tell all the time, every day to students. Okay, thank you, Shirin.
Yes, thank you, Shirin. It's been a great episode.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity again. I look forward to meeting you one more time, 10 more times, and then...
Sure, hopefully soon. Thank you, Shirin. Thank you, Dave. That was another episode of Innovation Fuel.
To all entrepreneurs and managers out there, we have ambitious students here at UCW who would love to hear from you and help you with your business through our internship, our capstone program. If you think you have a wonderful story or a challenge that you want to share with our students and our audience that you think they can benefit from, we want to hear from you. We want that information. We want you to be a part of this show. We also want you to join our mentorship program. We've got a great mentorship program to help students as they move on their educational journey towards getting into a career or launching a new opportunity. So reach out to us, connect with us at www.ucanwest.ca/Innovation Fuel.
You have just listened to the Innovation Fuel podcast with your hosts, Dave and Gelareh. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Google, or Spotify. Join us next week for another innovative story. Thank you for listening and have a great week.